My name is Vinay Hebbar. I'm the Managing Director for Harvard Business Publishing in the Asia Pacific region. This conference comes at a very important time. India is truly at an inflection point. After a decade or so of no reforms, policy paralysis, and a slowing economy, there's finally some momentum and enthusiasm in the economy. But this momentum and enthusiasm needs to be backed up by very serious policy changes. And I hope conferences and conversations like these would create ideas and enable the government to take the right action to abet these changes and make India truly a global powerhouse in the next decade or so. So today India ranks a lowly 60th in the World Bank's global competitiveness rankings. And if India has to alleviate millions from poverty, if it has to create jobs for the 10 million youths that come into the workforce each year, if it needs to improve infrastructure, India needs to make radical reforms. Not just economic reforms, but also administrative reforms, the way the government functions, the way the policy making bodies function. So I think there are reforms in several areas, and conferences like these would help create an agenda for the government to talk about these reforms that are required. The face of competition is changing globally, not just in India, globally. The concept of competitive advantage that companies used to create and enjoy for long periods of time is increasingly shortening. And today, companies don't know where the competition comes from. The competition is not necessarily from traditional sources, but it could be from very new disruptive sources thanks to the emergence of technology and digital media. India is no different. We have competition coming from other domestic sources, we have competition coming from best practices globally, and we have competition coming from new disruptive sources. So irrespective of which industry you are, whether it's software, or steel making, or book distribution, or digital newspapers, sustainable competitive advantage, the concept is increasingly ephemeral, and companies have to adapt to this changing environment. The Make in India concept or campaign is truly a powerful campaign, and it is what India needs. Over the last 2 decades, India has grown largely due to the service economy. But if rural India has to grow, if the middle class has to grow, and if we have to create jobs for millions of youth in a country as young as ours, the manufacturing sector needs revival. Today, India is not competitive in manufacturing. That's the fact of it. Globally, we rank 60th in the world's competitiveness index. We are 139th in World Bank's ranking of ease to do business. And if the Make in India concept has to move from being a nice soundbite to reality, a lot of changes need to occur on the ground. Changes need to occur in terms of land acquisition, in terms of skills available for this labor, so that is really the education side and the skill development side. Changes need to occur on the tax side so that companies feel more welcome here, and we create a regulatory policy that is more sustainable and predictable. Changes need to occur on the duties side. We need to have GST. So all around, several enablers need to be created to allow manufacturing companies to be attracted to India. Just having a big market in India does not suffice. We need to create these enablers for companies to come, create clusters of expertise, and move manufacturing forward in our country.